Good morning, everybody, and welcome to today's first media availability, previewing tomorrow's Bojangles Southern 500 here at Darlington Raceway. And it's our pleasure to be joined now by Chase Elliott, driver of the number 24 Napa Auto Parts Chevrolet for Hendrick Motorsports. Chase, you have a win in the Xfinity Series here at the racetrack. What would it mean for you with the throwback paint scheme to get in the victory lane tomorrow night?
How about now? There we go. Yeah, it'd obviously be a huge deal for sure. So we'll see how it goes. I'm excited about the weekend. Neat to see everybody's excitement for the paint schemes and to see all the effort that goes into this weekend. Now it's pretty wild. So it's neat to see. I'm excited to be a part of it. I think we have a cool paint scheme. I think Napa did a good job coming up with their throwback scheme this weekend. And like I said, we'll see how it plays out.
Good deal. We'll open the floor to questions. If you have a question, please raise your hand. We'll get a wireless microphone to you. We will start here and then work our way around.
Hey, Chase, I'm with the Morning News over in Florence. I was just wondering, since you've won here before, is there anything from that you can draw on to help you on the track now?
I think just the laps. I mean, really is the biggest thing. Just that was 2 years ago, which is kind of hard to believe, but it has been 2 years. So I don't really know what a win 2 years ago does for you. 2 years later, not much, but other than just having the laps, I think is helpful. We didn't have a very strong run here last year, which was disappointing. But I do think that everybody's working really hard, trying to help our cars improve, trying to just find that extra little bit that we need. I feel like we were really close there to having what we needed last weekend, and trying to build on that each week is important. Not getting content with where you are. So no, to answer your question, I don't really know that it does a ton for you, but I think just having the laps will be hopefully helpful, and we'll see how it goes.
We'll go over to your right here to Mike Embry.
Mike Embry, USA Today. Chase, what's your reaction to the junior news from yesterday, and how do you see his continuing absence having an impact on the team?
Yeah, obviously I hate to see that. I mean, as a teammate and as a friend, you never want to see anybody go through anything like that. And as I've said at the beginning of it, I have a lot of respect for him and, the situation that he's in, to listen to your body or your mind, whatever's telling you something's wrong, and then also listen to the doctors. I know that's probably not the easiest thing to do at the same time as well. So I have a lot of respect for him and what he's gone through, and being able to stand up and be honest about everything. I mean, that's tough. I don't care who you are. That's a hard thing to do when you're going through something like that. So he stood up and been just really, really honest, which I think is awesome. It shows the kind of person that he is, and how can you not support, and support that, and pull for him to get back as soon as possible. So I think that, definitely from a team perspective, we want to have him back as soon as possible. I know I do as a teammate. He does a really good job. He I feel like brings a lot to the team. The flip side of that, I feel like we have some good guys to fill for him while he's gone. I think Alex has done a really good job over the past few races that he's run. Thought he was going to be really strong last weekend. I hated to see him have his problems. And then obviously Jeff is going to bring a lot to the team regardless whether he's driving or not. I think he's going to have a lot of great opinion to bring and show and try to help us get going in a good direction. So, yes, I want to see him back as soon as possible, but, health comes first, and they feel like this is the right thing for him to do, and that's what he needs to do to try to get better, and we'll hope to see him back in Daytona in February. I think that's a good goal to shoot for, and being 110% for something like that, there's no need in taking a big risk, I don't think.
We'll go to your left next to Bob.
Bob Hockers, ESPN, and you kind of answered this earlier, but I'm curious, after you have kind of a little bit of disappointment from last week, is it good to come to a place that you've won at?
Oh yeah, I think it's good just to get back to the racetrack in general. I mean, regardless, it's like I was telling them, it's hard to believe it's been 2 years since that Xfinity win here, which is kind of hard to believe for me. Time's gone by really fast, but I don't know what a win 2 years ago does for you. Other than just having the extra laps, I think is the big thing. But it's good to be back at the racetrack regardless. and just to kind of get back in the swing of things and get going, I feel like is the biggest piece of that.
Go here to the middle to Pete.
Pete Iacobelli, Associated Press. Chase, with your position in the standings, in the Chase standings, do you approach these last couple tomorrow's race in Richmond any different at all?
I don't think so, man. And as I said last week and the week before, I just hate to sound like a broke record, but I think if you're worried about running 14th, 15th, and 16th and beating the guys that are running right there, that's where you're going to run. And I just think unless you have your sights set on the right things and trying to contend for a win and a good finish, that's where you're going to be, is back there. So I think making sure you have your goals set in the right spots is the biggest thing. And we just try to go to our jobs the best we can and just kind of see how the race plays out, see what kind of car we have and try to tune on it today and hopefully help it for tomorrow.
Additional questions for Chase? We'll go back to Bob here in the middle.
Have you watched the finish from last week at all, or do you try to put it out of your mind as quick as possible?
Yeah, I mean, I saw it live and in person for me. So no, I haven't gone and watched the closing laps of last week. I saw what happened, and like I said, I got to see it firsthand. So for me, I definitely put it behind me. I mean, it's done and over with, and as I told Claire on the phone the other night, we don't have the ability to rewind time, so your only option is to move on and get on down the road. And I'm excited to do that. I think we had a good run, and I feel like as a company last weekend we were all really strong, and I think that's something that's positive for all of us to look at. We just got to see that and look at that side of things and try to bring as much of that as we can to this weekend and try to make it go forward.
Go up front to Jim.
Jim Utter, motorsport.com. As you know, there's no shortage of opinions in this sport, but I was just wondering, for those that say they think that you're too hard on yourself sometimes, I'm sure you've heard other people say that. Is that just you, how you deal with things, or do you feel like you're that way?
I don't really. I mean, everybody's entitled to their opinion, and I think everybody kind of has their own way of going about their business. I have mine just like you have yours, and everybody does. So I'm going to respect that regardless of who it is and how they like to go about things. I have my own way of going about things and my own way about going about my job. I think we all do. So I'm going to respect everybody else's, and you hope that you get that respect back.
Well, Chase, thanks for joining us today, and best of luck this weekend.
Cool. Thanks.